again.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Hello, Lazzy here, and in today's video we are showcasing some of the best Bedrock shaders for lower end devices. The gameplay you are seeing right now is the updated YSSBE Shader. This shader was recently updated, and as you can see in the gameplay, it looks spectacular. I would like to make a note that a majority of these shaders only support Android. In the description I will note if they work on Android or iOS. Also in the description are the download links and the creator links. Make sure you follow the creators and support them on YouTube, Twitter, Discord, all in the description below, so you can keep up to date with all the news and information on these shaders when they get updated. The next shader is YSSBE Lite. YSSBE has released a light version of their shader, which doesn't include the water effects. However, as you can see, the skies are beautiful and still there. It also doesn't have the wavy effect with the leaves and tall grass, but if you are on a lower end device, you don't really need it. I would like to make a note that unfortunately with Render Dragon shaders, if you are using an iOS device, you do require a jailbreak. You do need a jailbroken device to install files from Cydia to install the files. And Android do require the modified patch version of Minecraft. The APK file can be downloaded from the YSSBE Creators Discord, which is in the description below. Now moving on to Eternal Shader, which is actually not a shader. This is a texture pack, or shaders in quotation mark. If you saw my video from the other day, you will notice that this is not a shader, but in fact it imitates shader features. As this is a texture pack, it uses some tricks and illusions to look like a shader. The sky is a cube matte, which means it's not going to lag. The wavy effect of the leaves and tall grass is the textures moving. As you can see, it is a bit noticeable, but from far or when you're walking, you can't really tell the difference. The biggest difference between texture packs and shaders is the water. As you can see, the water doesn't have any of those reflections or shader-like look. So as you can see, there is a animation on top, which does look quite nice. It is a subtle animation, which I think does look really awesome. Now moving on to the next shader, which is definitely a low-end shader. This shader is Azify default, which as you can see in the gameplay, it does the bare minimum, which still looks quite lovely. It doesn't have any water effects or wavy effects or anything like that. It does change the lighting. As you can see with the sky there, the sun does look nice and bright and definitely looks realistic. I really do like the skies and color tone with this shader. It definitely does look realistic and awesome. Now, if you're watching this video and you do have a higher end device, I will also link my previous video on some more shaders which work for Render Dragon in the description below. Moving on to the next shader, which is by the same creator, but this is Revive 1.3. Now this shader has those more, I guess, heavier effects, but as you can see, it still has minimum lag and it does look awesome. It really gives an aesthetic feel with this shader. The coloring and the lighting look spectacular. The clouds, the water reflections are all lovely. As we're showcasing so many shaders, I don't want to spend too much time going through every shader feature, so I highly recommend having a look on the creators Discord or in their feed or where they've shared their shaders so you can have a see of all the features. And I highly recommend checking it out for yourself so you can experiment and play with each shader to see which one suits your needs and which one you think is the best. So I definitely will miss some features in the gameplay. As you can see in the background, I'm really just trying to cover everything as quick as I can. Bit of the sun, bit of the water, sometimes the night sky, and occasionally with the lighting. But I will probably miss some shader features. Now moving on to the next shader, which is NewB Shader, which is unfortunately not working on my Android device. The gameplay of NewB Shader will be linked in the description below, which I'm using. As you can see in this brief clip, it just doesn't work for me. I don't know why. It may not be optimized or coded to support my device, so it may not work on every Android device. If you do have any troubles with this shader, I highly recommend suggesting it and letting the creators know in their Discord, and hopefully they will be able to fix it to support your device. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with NewB Shader. It really gives a nice aesthetic feel. The water wave looks really lovely, the reflections, the sun, the sky. Overall, it is a really nice shader. Hopefully the creator can make a port to iOS so I can do a full video on it. But for now, I thought I'll just showcase the gameplay and just mention that this has been updated to support Render Dragon. But please do let me know in the comments which is your favorite shader out of all the shaders I'm showcasing in today's video. If I have missed any shaders, please make sure you remind me in the comments so I can have a read and showcase it in the future. Moving on to another shader which is fairly familiar in the shader community and a quite popular one, which is HSD Shader. Unfortunately, this shader didn't seem to work too well on my device, so I have also used the creator's gameplay, which I have linked in the description. The creator has his download links in his YouTube video, so make sure you check it out. So I have borrowed some of his gameplay just to showcase all the features in this shader because it is a very lovely shader. As you know, with HSD Shader, once again gives a very lovely aesthetic feel to it. The lighting and the color tone with this shader does look quite lovely, especially in the sunrise and sunset. This shader has the water reflections and those enhanced clouds which do look quite lovely, so I highly recommend checking out this shader. Hopefully it works perfectly fine on your device, but for me, I noticed the clouds and the sun just disappeared. I'm not too sure where they went or if I'm just missing a feature, but the water and those other features seem to work perfectly fine. It is a very nice enhanced shader and definitely gives you the feel of RTX a bit with the lighting and coloring, especially with that water. It does look quite lovely. Now moving on to the last shader, which I did a video on it just recently, which is a mention of the upcoming GLSL Shader. Gabriel is back working on his shader, porting it to Render Dragon. For those who have missed my video, this shader will be the best shader for Bedrock Edition, as you can see in the gameplay from the creator, which he's been teasing on Twitter. It looks spectacular. It looks like a Java shader, and as you can see as well from this clip, it is getting no lag. Make sure you check out Gabriel on Twitter, and if you can, support him on Patreon in the description below, as he is working very hard on this shader and I cannot wait for it to release, and I'm sure you can't wait for it to release either. So make sure you follow him so you can keep up to date with all the shading news on his updated shader. But that is all for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite shader. But that is all from me. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one, and peace.